And we are live.
Oh,
Holy hell, man. We're
help,
live.
help.
Help you. What do you mean
Well,
help?
you said we're alive.
We're alive. We're
Back,
living, breathing organisms.
back from the
So,
other side.
yeah.
Uh,
I am the legacy of, it says it right there, Jennifer and Kaiser. I am your host, your El Capitan, your Picard of this enterprise, Zachary Kaiser. This is my co-host, my number two, my number one, whatever you want to call him, my assistant, my co-pilot, my everything, uh, Andrew Joseph, and
God help us all.
welcome to. Yeah, God help us all, man. God help us all on the fact that communism is demonic. Communism is running rampant, man. It's it's a real thing, and it seems
It's a gimmick.
yeah, it's definitely a gimmick. That's yeah, it's a little scary gimmick. We're getting very, very close to the onslaught of living in a dystopia, a
Yeah.
communist dystopia. So, but speaking of this T-shirt, I'm not like Noel. This is free, so we can't do nothing with anything right now. But get this T-shirt and much more at Who Touched It. Wait, I think I fucked
Who
it
touched
up.
the thermostat?
What?
Who
Say
touched
that
the
again.
thermostat?
Yeah, whotouchedit.com. Yeah, or you can follow who touched the thermostat over on X. So get this and much more. Yeah, so I gotta give that shout out. Just because I mean, hey man, I'm wearing his apparel. So
Right.
yeah, and God, I mean, communism is very, very demonic. I mean, there's a satanic influence like somewhere in it. I don't know if you want to go into the biblical realm. We could touch base on that on another episode. I think we've done that quite a few episodes of our own show and other people's show, especially on the latest episode of Buds in Reality. So go over to that and check that episode out if you want to get more in the depth of everything being a quandary of dystopian ordeals. But right now, I'm thinking we need to touch base on everything that's going on this past week, Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of it, I mean, we on this show we talk about how everything like politics is nothing but theater, right? And
Yeah.
it's kayfabe. There's characters. There's gimmicks. There's always a face, a baby face to a heel, right? Someone's always a bad guy. Somebody's always the good guy. Right now, the baby face is Kamala Harris, right? They're putting her over severely, of course, right? Because I mean, the left has control of the institutions, including the media, and yes, the media includes the corporate sector of that is also Fox News. So there you go. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I said Fox News is a bunch of progressivism. It's just progressivism for the right.
Hack.
It's an act.
Watch him
So
hack.
yeah, and then you also have Donald Trump is the heel, right? That's the narrative, right? Orange man bad. So
Well, he's a good
I
guy
don't.
though. He's a baby face. That's why he's laying down like John McCain for Barack Obama.
Oh yeah, yeah. Uh, yeah. So we hello
Hey, what's
William.
going on, William?
So thank you for joining us. So but yeah. So but yeah, like that's the thing. Like man, like what do you think of it? I don't really want to go too deep on this debate. I honestly think it was literally two political idiots proving that they're retarded. Honestly, I mean, let's just just to put it plain and simple. But what are your thoughts on how
Um,
let's go with the layout of let's start out with what the layout of the debate? Like, how do you think? What is your thoughts on how it was conducted? Do you think it was fair or bias? I mean, where do you stand on how it was laid out?
Well, I heard that that ABC was friends with people. The president of ABC was friends with a part of the Kamala Harris campaign. So, and that's going to influence it. There's a lot of pressure there.
Well, yeah, and it seems like I mean the media is just so far gone left anymore because that's just where our political spectrum has transferred into. Like we've transitioned from the center right of like the mid 2000s. I'm just going to use it for like the past 20 years to center left, and we're like gradually going like way far left because of all the
Yeah,
cultural issues of the day that has just spun. And we can go in depth on the fact that the cultural issues of the day, the culture war, like that has a lot to do with the financial aspect, the monetary aspect, and the control and the monopolization of the money supply, the devaluation of the dollar, the complete centralization. I mean, and that's where decadence and decay in a society comes down. I mean, yeah, like William right there, 100%, right? Like that's
yeah,
where it starts. That's how Rome fell. Like the Roman Empire fell into disarray because they were literally doing what we're doing now. They were
yeah,
literally counterfeiting money. I mean, the only difference was it wasn't paper. So, but I mean, but like when it comes to the way that the debate went and how ABC and their moderators ran things, it really did seem like Kamala Harris, for every lie that she told or every idiotic uh just asinine topic that she went on her tangent, exactly way it's kind of, it is scripted in my opinion. It's like kayfabe, it's like pro wrestling. So but
yeah.
it's literally seems like they saved her butt. And then I was just listening to Dave Smith's, and he actually kind of Dave Smith's podcast, right? Him and Robbie were going over the recap of it, and it was almost like or with Donald Trump, how much are you a piece of shit? Like, are you? Can you explain how much of a piece of shit you are? Are you a piece of shit? Yeah. Turn to Kamala Harris and be like, how much of a piece of shit is Donald Trump? And then she gives her answer. Trump tries to give his answer, and then it's just, I don't know, man. It's, yeah, another.
Appealing
It's
to
just it.
lower and lower standards.
Yeah. It, that's where we are, man. We've literally dropped so low in the standards that like they couldn't even keep Biden in the race, and then they give us somebody way worse in Kamala Harris. Like Biden, at least you can say is senile and going through and cognitively declining. Kamala Harris is literally stupid, but is she though? Because she conducted herself actually pretty well. So either she got a hold of some of them Biden drugs, or she's as scary as we should truly fear her, because she might actually be able to articulate something in this establishment takeover.
She's not drunk.
She, she ain't drunk. Yeah, she. so so what do you think of this? What do you think of this, Andrew? How about that? Do you like Dave Smith?
Do I like Dave Smith? I mean, yeah, he's got some good points. He was
He's
going out
okay
bunker.
sometimes. No, I love Dave Smith. Dave is awesome. Like Dave is probably the genius amongst the Liberty Sphere right now. Like he has the biggest pop right now in the Libertarian Round Table, the Liberty Sphere, and even going into, and he has a stretch that goes into the Republican base. And I think that let him eat cake. Yeah, but I get all my news really from Dave Smith, man. Like I don't really get anything from anybody else, really. Is that sad
Yeah.
or is that? I mean,
Well, I
he's
mean, you, you certainly want to keep a narrow uh, source of information for a little while, and then extrapolate that out and compare it to other people and see how it serves you. So
yeah, yeah. So that's what I like. I mean, he's an alternative. I'm not gonna say I get like all my news from Dave Smith. I get maybe a good a good majority of my political news from Dave Smith. So, and
yeah,
mostly Robbie the Fire.
pieces.org.
What's it? Let's
Oh
see
man,
here. What was her earring a listening device?
yeah, I've heard that too. I've also
Yeah,
heard that
that's
they scripted. They gave her the script in advance so that she could at least be proactive with how she would respond.
yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time, right? I guarantee you they've probably done it before, and I guarantee you they were probably Biden was probably had an earwig or something or earpiece in his ear. I mean, a
Yeah,
hearing aid or something to disguise to where they could feed him his answers, and maybe they forgot to do that in the June debate. They forgot to put
or
his. Hmm,
they put him out there without a purpose.
that too. They probably did. They probably put him up there without any purpose. They didn't coach him. It did seem like Harris was either if she didn't have an earpiece or an earring wasn't a listening device, and somebody wasn't feeding her what she needed to say. It did seem like she was very well coached, or like you said, she wasn't drunk.
Yeah,
So, and then Donald, I mean, and don't get me wrong, like at the very beginning of the debate, it really did seem like Donald Trump had it in the bag, and then he kind of lost it. Where you're starting to realize um, that Donald Trump he's trying to relive that 2016 vigor that he had, but you're not going to be able to capture that 8 years later. Like
yeah,
you need to reinvent yourself. I mean, and now he's just sounding like a typical Republican, really going against the Democrats. Like they're communists, they're communists, It's like okay, well we've heard this for
yeah.
like the past like 40 years.
He can't really put himself over as a baby face as well as he can as a heel.
Mm-hmm. So
I didn't see
outside,
what William said.
yeah, outside of U.S. is important. So what do you mean, William? Mm-mm-mm. I think it coincides with this. Andrew is listening to different sources outside of U.S. is important. So I'm if I have to guess, like basically gravitating towards different sources, thinking outside the box, finding
Yeah,
different spaces, whether from different influences of news cycles. I mean, this is where. I don't know, and we talked about this on the roundtable a little bit, but maybe there should be some way. Like we talked about it on the roundtable this past week, World Blockchain Roundtable, right on Thursday, and or yesterday, and about whistleblowers and the blockchain and figuring out like some way how people can maybe be able to uh, get their information out. Well, maybe we should be able to do that just for like news. Like maybe there should be a way to utilize blockchain technology and figure out the scalability of it to where we can get more access to all different sources of news on the blockchain where it's kind of filtered it can where you can easily filter it out instead of uh, being centralized to like the cable news or even social media.
it sounds like a federated network to me. It's where it exists, but you have the option. It's like on Twitter or X or whatever. You can block
Yeah,
people you don't like. You block news you don't like.
Maybe. I can definitely see that. So, Japan, India news, see America from outside. I mean, there's your cup of tea, Andrew. Japan.
Yeah.
So, I agree. Like, I think a lot of the news sources, minus like Britain, like with BBC. I mean, although like Neil Oliver is a great source out of the UK, independent. That he's pretty staunch on getting out information that's pretty much unbiased with his own flavor, of course. I mean, we're all biased, but other than that, there's really nothing in the UK. Like BBC is it, so like that's not gonna fly. But you can still use the BBC or whatever as another alternative, but then go and check out like news agencies out of Japan or out of India or even the what is it called, Jazeera, and any of the Middle East and North African news cycles. So, and I think that's the issue with this debate and why we've seen like it definitely flipped to one side um, to where the opposition is kind of silenced through what's the word I'm looking for? But it's kind of silenced through siding with one side to fact check one side and ignoring the other or something, whatever. Like you ignore one side for the other side. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. I'm just rambling. And take it over, Andrew.
I mean, it's
You
not
can
like you're talking about confirmation bias.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. So, and that's what it seemed like. It seemed like there was just too much confirmation bias, too much siding with Kamala, and too much fact checking by moderate fact checking on Donald Trump's side when he spoke, and them shutting him down, and then turning over, and then Kamala Harris says a lie, and then they just let it run with it. It's like, okay, well, they're both lying. They're both lying their teeth. I think probably the most truthful thing that Donald Trump said on that debate was literally about the Haitians eating cats and dogs. I will say one thing. He said something about looking at it, finding it on and seeing it all over TV. That was boomer brain because it hasn't been on TV. It's been plastered on social media. So he meant social media like Twitter and all that. So
Yeah.
mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, it's kind of wild that this is all happening, though. I mean, it keeps the barrel just keeps getting deeper and deeper. You're not going to get out of it eventually.
Mm-hmm. There you go, Andrew.
Well, what are you doing in Japan?
Andrew wants to go to Japan. He wants to live there. He wants to actually move there. So that's awesome, actually. I would love to go and live somewhere for a while and just experience something different too. Because that's the thing. Like I think here in the United States, like we're just so condensed to our little two-parter niche of culture that we're just not eloquently expanded. Like we're not cultured enough. We don't have those experiences with going to some other place for the most part. We're just like work, 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 retire, die. Work, 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 retire, die. Unless you're a political elite, then you just live off the public tip for the rest of your life, basically dictating all these bullshit laws and you running amok and getting rich off of some insider trading with some stocks because you're in politics. You know that. So you're gonna find the good old dude. I shouldn't. Well, I can't say that. I don't think you're a boomer though.
Say,
Man,
you son of a bitch.
you're Gen X, aren't you? I think you're about my mom's age, or what my mom's age would be. So that's Gen X.
You're gonna be like a bitch with me and make you scream in your ear or say whatever you were afraid to say.
You know what? Gen X can claim you.
Right?
Gen X can claim you, William. So, but yeah, next story that I kind of want to talk about is staying on this political theater. Like I said, like the debate's the debate. Like I think we've talked enough about it. Do you think we've talked enough about it? Like everybody else has talked about it. Like let's just give our piece and move
Yeah.
on. So, unless you have anything more to add.
Well, I mean, it's all at one point or another dead air. It's only a momentary, news to keep us distracted. So.
Mm. Yeah. So, yeah. So, like, the next story I kind of want to discuss is let's stay on the political theater track in the politics circle. Recently, Thomas Massie, and I saw this posted on Twitter, and it was like a 9.5 minute video. I suggest go see it. You can also find it on YouTube. One of the a main quote that he actually stated, this was on 9/9/24, was "I refuse to be a thespian in this failure theater" towards the end of his speech. And basically, he was going off on pretty much we have yet another bill going through the House. What's going to be another omnibus spending bill with some sneaky, uh, nefarious, basically nefarious surveillance state. There is one law that I think the Republicans were able to sneak in to try to get it, or yeah, something like that. Where I think it's called the Save Act. Is that right? The Save Act, where where they're trying to get it to where you have to prove citizenship in order to vote in federal elections. I think
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but um, but that was mentioned. But effectively, he called it out as the bullshit that it is, and he effectively even called out the fact that this particular law is probably going to be taken away from, scraped from this bill, and they're just going to do what they always end up doing, pass yet another large scale omnibus bill. You fight, you bicker, and then you sign the same old thing. Democrats are happy because you get to spend a shit ton of money and raise the deficit and put us more into debt, the value of the dollar further. Republicans are happy because they no longer have to fight and bicker with Democrats anymore. It's just a two-party. It's literally the baby faces right now are written in the script are the Republicans. They are the baby faces because they're the ones that are for, we got to limit this and we got to and then they do exactly the opposite because they're not exactly what they are. So they're like a tweener. And then you have the Democrats, the heel, the villains. They're the ones that are, I mean, they just want to spend.
But democracy is good.
Democracy's good. Democracy's great, man. Especially, yeah, I love it. Kamala Harris was nominee for the Democratic Committee through democracy.
Yeah.
Yeah, democracy. Yeah, without a primary. So, but I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, he's got a point though. Like he's actually on the House floor. I don't know if it was on the House floor. I think it was in a committee. But regardless, in the House, he called it all out for being political theater for what it is. So, what do you think about that? And what do you think about Thomas Massie?
I mean, it sounds like Ron Paul in his retirement speech. I didn't catch it. I didn't see it all the way.
Last year, yep. Boomers, but evergreen young. Obviously, yeah. That was how my mom was. She was like the last on the cusp, so claimed Gen X. Yeah. But yeah, it did. It sounds like Massie really is like that Ron Paul character. He's like the next Ron Paul. So, and you would think Rand would be the next Ron Paul, but I
No,
mean, he
he
kind
wants to play the long game in the system. He figures
yeah,
he can work himself up the card if he does it long enough.
yeah. I mean, Rand is good on certain things. Like I mean, and this could even be theater. Who knows? I mean, I don't think so, but he's taken his opportunity. D's and R's, some bird, different, same bird, different wings, both opportunists. Exactly. It is sad, William. It's very sad, but yeah, like Rand, he took all the chips in his bag, went all in, and it kind of screwed him. Besides the fact that he's still a senator, but he has done some good things, calling out Fauci, trying to get that straightened out with the COVID thing. But I mean, I'll believe it when I see Anthony Fauci actually behind bars in front of or behind bars after convicted in a criminal court. I could care less about Congress. I want him in criminal court. Yeah, I want him in prison because he belongs in prison. But Thomas Massie really does sound like, and he's a rep. He's a House rep, just like Ron Paul. So he actually does resonate that true Ron Paul message, and I love it.
It's a very rare breed, that's for sure.
So, and I'm blessed to be across the river from his district,
Right?
Northern
Maybe you
Kentucky.
could run it. Maybe you could run it and counter uh, represent on that side.
What, me run over there? What?
Yeah, run. Maybe you could run up there on the other side.
Oh yeah, get him to move up here so you can. Yeah, I
Right.
don't know. Yeah, we need more Massies. We do. So Thomas M keeps people like us hoping for a brighter future, but we forget solutions don't come from the state.
That's right.
Exactly. Now, I mean, and William says this afterwards, controlled opposition. I don't think Thomas Massey's controlled opposition. I think I I think he's just so small. Like he has a big message, but he's a peon compared to the rest of the establishment and the intel superstate, the intelligence apparatus, the administrative state, whatever you want to call it, the bureaucracy, the state, whatever you want to call it. He's just a little peon that they can literally just kind of sweep him
Trot
under the
out.
rug and yeah, just let him have his piece, right? Let him say what he wants to say. So, I mean, could he be controlled opposition? He certainly could. But I mean, we know that Donald Trump is definitely controlled opposition because he's a New York Democrat from the '90s.
Oh
But
man, what was doing in the '80s,
oh, '80s. Excuse me. New York Democrat from the '80s and the '90s.
right?
So, but I honestly, I think Thomas Massey is true to form. I think he really does what he preaches, what he tries to do. I think is genuine, but he's just one guy, and they can just kind of sweep him under the rug, and they can also get him to basically kind of force him to vote within the party line on certain spending bills because in order to basically keep his seat, basically like, okay,
Yeah,
well, we'll make sure that I guarantee you what they do is like, well, we'll make sure that we block all your donations, all your campaign donations for your next reelection. Oh shit, I better vote on this little bill because he has voted on some spending bills that are a little iffy. That's just part of the government that we live under. I mean, but as far as actually being a genuine guy, I think he is. I honestly think he is. So I just think he's just one guy, doesn't have a whole lot of power, not a whole lot of influence. So yeah. Mm-mm. Bad, oh, bad verbatage. Opposition is controlled because of so few numbers. Exactly. Yeah, he's just one guy. So like yeah. So they can easily just kind of push him to the side. So anything on Thomas Massey there, Andrew? Anything more on him?
Not in particular. I mean, you basically spoke my mind. So
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So another to transition out, or actually, let's do some plugging. All right, this is our ad. All right, we're on
okay,
free StreamYard, so let's do some plugging. See this shirt? See this shirt, everybody. This shirt and more at say it, Andrew. I'm gonna let you be part of this.
don't touch thermostat.com.
WhoTouchedThat.com.
Yeah,
Follow him. Great account. Great guy. Follow him on X at Who Touched the Thermostat. But it's WhoTouchedThat.com. And you can go. He got shirts like this. He has shirts, hoodies, like all sorts of apparel. And I mean, they're all themed to the truth, man. Like communism is demonic. It is satanic. It is purely evil. It is gross. So there's others there, and there's a whole load of others. So that you can find. So go get it. Go cop yourself one of these for real. Cop, yeah. So whotouchedthat.com. Follow who touched the thermostat on X. So and speaking of political theater, as we're getting back into this, Andrew, um, another video came out. This is kind of funny. It's actually funnier towards the end of it when you kind of hear old Joe as he's taking a hand on. He's like, he says something about the cats and the dogs. It was kind of like, yeah. So, but Joe Biden at some public event, I guess it was at a nursing home where he probably belongs. I don't know if it was actually at a nursing home. It was just a whole bunch of old Trump voters, obviously. But but he endorses Donald Trump effectively. I don't know if that's
really.
I don't know if this is political theater. I don't know, or if this was genuine, or if he had another old man moment and forgot that he should hate Trump. I don't know, but he actually took the guy's hat, this older fella's hat that said Trump 24, put it on his head, smiled. It seemed very genuine, man. It's kind of nice actually to see this. Just be yeah, it was almost like a if you know how you know what they call like timeline cleanses for like social
Uh
media,
huh.
like Facebook, Twitter, and all that. That's what it felt like. It felt like a timeline cleanse. It's like,
Yeah.
but what do you think of that video, man? What do you think?
Maybe
Do you think
maybe he's trying to put himself over as a loyal supporter so that he doesn't go to jail.
maybe he could so he could I mean that could be a possibility. At the other end, I honestly think that this might have been a genuine moment and he was actually being old. He's cognitively declining. He's 80 what? He's 81 years old now, right? 81 years old, on the cognitive decline, obviously with dementia. Uh probably probably he's starting to just fade out to be a normal typical human being because he's no longer Joe Biden anymore because he's not Joe Biden because he literally his brain is slush. So I don't know, maybe he was actually just having a fun senior moment.
Or another thing is maybe he felt betrayed, so he's retaliating like covertly.
I mean, he did get betrayed, man. And he doesn't have anybody really pulling any strings anymore. He's kind of been forgotten. Basically, they're just letting him run out his term, but he's not really he's not doing anything. He just makes some appearances here and there. So, but I don't know. So, I don't know. Biden dubbed by dementia. Yes. Yes. So, but I don't know, man. Like, what? So that's what you think? I honestly do. I think he does feel betrayed, and honestly, I don't think he likes Kamala Harris, and I know, and we know she really doesn't like him because of what she her calls out, her call outs during the 2020 debates with him. And, I mean, and going against him, literally going toe to toe with him, even though she was less than 1% of the vote. This is why there's no way in hell that she's going to win this election unless there's some funny business. There's no way that people change that unless we are that stupid as a country. Unless the voter.
Or distracted.
Yeah. Or distracted. You say distracted. I literally think that we have dropped IQ points within the last 4 years. Yeah, partially because of boosters.
I mean, potentially.
Yeah, so
But since how Bernie still win.
Feel the burn. Bernie Sanders 2024. So, yeah, just write in Bernie if you want the world to burn. So, but yeah, no, I honestly, I'm with you, man. I don't think this was political theater. I think this was Joe Biden being genuine, and basically his way of basically saying,
yeah,
I'd say the word, but I don't want to get canceled. I don't want to say the F word. F everything. F Harris, F the Democrat. Basically, it's his way. It could be so, but it could also just be like, let's tie into how poorly this debate was by adding Joe Biden, and then have him do something witty and funny by putting on a Trump hat. so, but yeah. Anything else on Joe Biden? Poor man. He was a very evil man before the dementia.
I don't think he's poor at all. I think he's got a lot of money. He's been in Washington for how long? 40 plus years.
Yeah, about that. Yeah, he's been. Yeah, I think 30. I think he's been in Washington for 38 years in public office on the federal level. Because you got to think. Wait, he got into. Yeah, he was elected to Senate. At the time, he was the youngest senator to be elected at 31, right? And he's about 81. And of course, you have the 4 years of Trump presidency, so that he's not in public. So, 31 to 81. So that's about 50, right?
Yeah, Jack.
So about 46 years in public office. It's a lot of years, man. A lot of years to get some kickbacks and make some money on some bribes, make some money off of stocks through insider trading with the military. That's a lot of ice cream, man. That is millions of dollars of ice cream. So, but yeah, like anyways, to carry on, so we're not talking about Joe Biden or anything for the rest of the night. The next latest story, and he mentioned it, man, and all of a sudden, now everybody knows it. And of course, like the narrative on one side is it's fake news, of course. So it's one side's always going to say fake news. It's all fake. So even though you can actually go watch some videos of people actually giving testimony themselves, like I actually watched a YouTube clip of a guy that owns like a garage shop in Springfield, from Springfield. I actually looked up the garage. It's in Springfield. So he is in Springfield. He has his own YouTube channel, mostly deals in like vintage, like I guess trucks. I don't know. I subscribe so I can go check it out later because it actually sounds interesting. But I've literally found this video because it was on my recommendeds, which kind of proves where my YouTube goes down the fucking rabbit hole. Whoops. But but he literally was like plain sincere. I'll send you the video. I don't know. I think I did send you the video. You probably just didn't watch it. Did you watch it? I don't
I don't
think I
think
sent
so.
it. Anyways, I'll send you the video. But yeah, like, I mean, what the hell is going on in Springfield, Ohio?
I don't know. Probably same
I
shit's
mean,
happening in Dayton.
is this another symptom of like the migrant, yeah, the migrant crisis, that the political, the political sabotage for, so the government can come save us all with their solutions with this migrant refugee crisis, or whatever they want to call it? Is this part of their plan to it sounds like, I mean, it does sound like a Marxist plan, but is this a part of the plan to subvert society
Steal.
and cause chaos? Say that again.
Stop the steal.
Yeah, stop the steal. So, what do you
Yeah.
what do you?
I mean, it's just like Soviet Union, right? I mean, Rock talked about this. Is that dilute your voice by bringing in people from outside so that you can't concentrate a message, and anything you say is illegitimate in the eyes of power.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so effectively flood flood in outsiders that aren't going to assimilate to the culture that's already been set up, and
Yeah.
that's all right, William. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for interacting as well. So, but basically, just causing enough chaos that it causes so much distraction, because of what's going on the ground, that it's almost like a cloak and dagger effect, basically. Like, you shroud everybody in this mystique of distraction, and then you go for the kill, effectively, as the assassin, when nobody's looking, because they're looking this way. So it's smoke
Yeah.
and mirrors. Better analogy, it's smoke and mirrors. So you make them look this way, and in reality, this is going on. We're taking over. We're expanding government, etc., etc. So, but yeah, like what? Yeah. So what do you what do you think about people finding, accordingly, people literally finding these Haitians killing ducks at the park?
Well, I mean, nothing happens by accident. And of course, they were brought in right at the time of election period. It's a useful distraction so they can do things behind the scenes where the people weren't focusing on that. They
Hmm.
always do this.
Yeah, I just want to know, like, do you think that they got dumped there, or did they or did they find themselves in, I don't know how you just end up in Springfield, Ohio, but so did they just get dumped there, maybe bust from, maybe, I
They were
don't know,
they
Columbus,
were
flown
strategically
into.
placed.
Mm,
By who I couldn't tell you, but people of
mhm.
power, people with real power and influence.
Joe Biden was in the news, now crickets. Do you think Jill Biden has something to do with this?
I don't know.
I don't
They
I don't
say
think
this is power hungry. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about Geo, but honestly, yeah, it does. It seems like it is some sort of cloak and dagger effect, some smoke and mirrors, cause chaos, and disrupt every means of the fabric of these people's societal lives, their regular normal lives, to in an attempt to distract the rest of us who are honed in on what's going on there, cause so much fear as well. I mean, that's how these communists, literal communists, take over. Like, they do it through fear. That's how the state expands. They need the fear, because then that forces people to give up even more of their rights, because they want to be protected. The government moves in, and then next thing you know, you have an even larger surveillance state. You have more feds on the ground. You have more cops getting hired. You have more cops getting militarized weaponry and tanks. You're militarizing the police because of fear. You're putting more feds on the ground. I also watched a couple extra videos from Twitter feed where this dude and some friends were actually filming that they there were supposedly feds on the ground in Springfield, and they were being stalked by. They kept on saying they thought they were being followed by a bunch of feds. One video, which was shorter than the first two that I watched, he actually mentioned that it was like that he saw a all dark car with tinted windows following them. Uh, do you think the feds might be on the ground like because of this situation? Maybe they're monitoring it, or maybe they want to make sure people keep quiet. Because I think there's a lot of people on the ground trying to do citizen journalism, because the corporate news obviously isn't
I
telling
would
us
look
anything.
past them.
So go on. You wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah, I mean, they have their tentacles, their fingers, whatever you want to call them, in all kinds of places.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how they operate. It's how they always operate.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can go more, man. Talk. Come on.
So, um,
I'm gonna put you on the spot. Here, here. I'm gonna put
hey,
you on the
great,
spot.
sweet, I'm on the spot.
Yeah. Hold
You
on.
have fun.
Trying to figure it out. There you go.
Andrew has left the meeting.
Come on, Andrew. Come on. Come on.
No,
Say your
you're
shit.
the
Cut
only,
your promo.
you're not the only one who can do that. You know, right?
Oh. Oh, that's right. He's my co-host. He has
Yeah.
co-host duties. So, but yeah, you know what? If that is the case and the feds are on the ground, you know what I say about this?
What?
You can't even see that.
Way to put it over. Communism is demonic. Uh,
Go to whotouchedthis.com. Get your copy. Get your own shirt. So, but yeah, communism is demonic, and that our federal government is literally taking pages out of the Marxist doctrine. The Marxists won, man. They're winning. They infiltrated this country in 1854. They created their own political party, and then they consolidated that political party with the second political party, the one of more influence, in 1910, finally set up that central bank, and then it all went downhill from there.
it's
And now they've
contraction.
infiltrated the culture. Let's just put it that way.
It's contractions.
Yeah. Tell me about that. What do you mean? What do you mean
Well,
it's contraction?
well, I mean, it's like having a child, right? It just happen immediately. It moves slowly and with more power,
Mm-hmm.
and eventually the child's born.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, and that's where you look at it. The Marxist movement, or the socialist movement of the 19th century, eventually Marxism, what would be termed Marxism, um, it infiltrated politics, at least for our country, all across the world, really. But in our country, it infiltrated our political system in the mid 19th century. By the turn of the 20th century, it was able to hijack the economic and financial system of our society and set up the central bank. And then from there, what is next? You have politics, you have the economy. Next is culture. They've taken culture. they wrapped around every good, think about it, every good uh political civil rights movement of our time in this country, at least in our country, is it has some sort of Marxist influence. I mean,
Yeah.
and that has been expoliated. Did I say that right? Yeah. And hijacked and used to the point where nobody cares anymore. It's like they take these movements, they run with it, and then they send us ass backwards because they want us in the dark ages. They want us as peasants. They want us as serfs. You will own nothing and you will be happy. And the Lord is who owns everything. Bill Gates owns all the land. You just work the land like the good little serf. It's feudalism. That's what communism really wants. It's it's friggin' feudalism. They're trying to bring back the old world where the elites, the aristocracy had all the power and all the influence, and nobody could say no to them. And the peasants basically got what they wanted, and that was it. It's it's disgusting, and it's
Demonic.
it's demonic. It really is. It's evil. It's disgusting. Let's get to this comment. So, Viva Citizen Journalist. Amen. I mean, everybody needs to get a camera and be a journalist. I mean, I'm not one for the Constitution, but or the bill, yeah, because we all have rights. You don't need a piece of paper to say you have rights. But the First Amendment is imperative. We are we are the journalists. We have to speak out. We have to be our own press. We have to be able to fight our government in some way, peacefully, of course, because if we do it violently, honestly, they have more guns. They have nukes. They could, if they wanted to, they could just obliterate, like, they could just obliterate us. I'm sure that they could just launch an EMP on one of our local towns and be like, "Oh, you don't want to conform to our ways, to the dark ages." So
That's right.
communism is a tool that the elites will use. Noel says this has said this a couple times. Like really, like communism is a tool of the elites. Yeah, communism for us, the peasants. Capital. Well, he says capitalism. I'm not a capitalist. So I'm a free marketeer. But capitalism, free markets, whatever you want to call it, for the elites. So yeah, communism for the, not for me. That's literally
Right.
they laugh in our face. They laugh in our face.
They're very
So
much pro capital, only capital in their hands.
well, I mean, you also got to think like I mean, Marx coined the term capitalism, and the capitalists really are those
Yeah.
who own capital. So you want the socialists want a few that own the capital because they're the ones that are going to be the few that own the capital.
That's
That's why
right.
Stalin was a dictator. So consolidate power. So consolidate power. So anything more that we can add on, Andrew, or should we
So
start wrapping up?
I think I had a good episode. So
I think it was, man. We're coming across the 1 hour. Not really the 1 hour. We started a
I
little
think
later. So
55 minutes.
yeah, we've been doing this. We're coming up to like the 50-minute mark. We're at 47 minutes. So I think this is a good chance to plug out some things and wrap up. So mhm. Proud to be on a government list.
If you're not, what are you doing with your life? You're not being productive.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to be on a government list. You made it. You know you made it when you're on a government list.
You're over.
Yeah, so finally made it. Yes, the government has finally put you over, William. So Andrew's still waiting to be put over. I think I'm on the Mossad list.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think
Actually,
Israel's
they
tracking me.
put me over in Britain because I was talking about how it's illegal to have a potato peeler.
Oh yeah, potato peeler.
Yeah,
It's illegal to have a potato peeler.
people got arrested for it in Britain.
Oh my God!
That's a
If
couple
you're in
years
the
ago.
if you're in the UK, everybody, get out. I know it's home, but get out. It's a lost cause. It's done. Leave. Get to safety. Like get to safety. Get yourself. I mean, most people honestly probably have a passport, but get yourself into a dual passport system and go to Liechtenstein to start
So,
off. You don't have to stay in Liechtenstein, but honestly, the world would be a better place if we had about 100,000 Liechtensteins. Maybe, maybe. So, so. Anyways, Andrew, plug away, man. What you got? You got anything that you want to plug anymore? I know that you're
uh,
struggling with the Telegram, but I mean, go ahead and plug it.
I just burnt out, man. Uh, Hit me up on X at AI-90. Um, that's basically anywhere you want to get in contact with me. That's where you need to find me.
Oh yeah, and you can also get hit up on Facebook, but I think you're kind of burnt out on Facebook now, aren't you? Facebook's
All
gay.
social media, basically. I'm burnt out.
Yeah, Facebook's kind of gay, anyways. So it's just too centralized.
Yeah.
Too much data mining. So at AI Conan 90. So with that, I am at legacy underscore Zak ZAK. That's where you can catch me. You can also catch us over on the Instagram. We're gonna try to get back over there and start memeing away. And try to get that to get on fire because we need to. We need to start getting that. I mean, Instagram is a good tool to use, but that is at the legacy right. That is all it is. All lowercase, no spaces, just the legacy right, or at the legacy right. Um, but yeah, like, subscribe, comment, interact when we go live. Jump into the live stream and do what William was doing and interact with us on the comments. So we'll have a conversation. Other than that, drop a comment on each one of our episodes. Pull that algorithm up so that we can be off to the races because the message needs to get out there and we're trying to help you. We're trying to guide everybody to kind of build a coalition amongst all of us that want liberty for everybody. Like, we want people to be free. We want people to understand that they own themselves. I mean, you got to have a little bit of responsibility, of course. I mean, that's what freedom is. But you got to understand that you own. Nobody else owns you. Nobody can control you. Nobody has authority over you. So let's get that out. So leave a comment and like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell because we all know YouTube pulls shenanigans. You can also find The Legacy Right on all your favorite podcast apps: Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Audible, you name it. Give us a follow over there so you can get notified if you like the podcast realm, and give us a nice little review. If you give us a review, that pumps up the algorithm, that gets us a little further up there, and that allows us to get our message out. And do the same for everybody else that we like to network. So Off the Wire with Noel Lynn, great dude, good dude. Pump him up. Buds in Reality, check him out. Same thing, man. And every Sunday at 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern, Dangerous Thoughts over on YouTube. Check them out as well. So, and give them a like and a subscribe. So, but other than that, I think that's it, man. We pretty much touched base of what went on this week. So, what important things went on this week for this very first live? Yes, Andrew, I know we did another live. That was a test. And before you say anything, that was actually a test. This is the first live.
Bernie can still win.
Yeah, exactly. So Bernie, yeah. So and vote Bernie. Write in Bernie Sanders 2024, because honestly, if this thing's gonna crash, I would much rather feel the burn than whatever shit shenanigans were going on right now. Honestly, at least Bernie was honest until he wasn't.
Yeah.
So with that, he is
Andrew Joseph.
right there on
And
the
he
spotlight.
is
That's Andrew Joseph. So, so I am the legacy of Jennifer It Kaiser. I am Zachary Kaiser. This has been The Legacy Right. 2 people just joined as we're ending. You were late, but thank you for tuning in. Thank you, anybody and everybody that did come in and then get out. Whether you came and gone, caught a little bit of us here and there. Thank you, William, for interacting. And thank you, Andrew, for riding this out with me, man. So,
it's okay.
so with what do we have to do next? What's next on the list?
I don't know. That's to Chris Jericho.
Yeah,
He made a list.
He did make a list. So with that, let's ride on out of here, and let's go home there, Andrew. So let's go home.
See ya. Thanks for watching.
Peace.